Oh, this is so much hard work. Hello and welcome back to Automotive Tales. On today's episode, we are talking about my new daily driver. So those that are familiar with the channel will know that actually my new daily driver is not this, the Volvo V60 D3 RDesign. We've actually had this from new in 2020, 4 years ago, and it's got to the end of its PCP deal, which means we've either got to buy the car outright or we've got to hand it back. Really?
Take three?
Take three. So we have decided to buy the car outright, but we've also decided to sell the car. So a friend of mine, Dr. David, was looking for a newer Volvo. He's got the earlier V60, which has clocked up some 170-something thousand miles, and he's looking for a new one. So we have sold this to him for £13,000. Now you might be thinking that's not a lot of money for a 4-year-old Volvo V60. Well, it has been valued at about £16,000. However, that doesn't include a few things that it needs from our time with it. First of all, you'll notice the towing eye little cover thing here is missing. That went missing when it went in for its last service. Very much due for some new tyres, so we're just off the wear indicators, and we didn't want to put new tyres on it until we knew what we were going to do with it. David has accepted the responsibility of putting new tyres on this car, and he has also accepted that he's going to have to do some body work. So you might notice down in this corner there are a few little grazes on this front bumper. Well, sadly, our old house, the access was very, very tight to get into the driveway, and after 3 years of piloting it just perfectly, I managed to scrape it within 9 months of probably giving the car back. So that's a bit of a fail. We also know that the brakes need doing at the front soon as of its last service. There's about sort of 15-20% left on those pads, and there is a bit of a dent in the door at the back thanks to a bollard that was very low in a car park. These things happen. We thought we would decide what we're going to do with the car, and it was much easier to give it to somebody else who's going to use it as a family car, and he'll tart the bits up that need fixing. So what have we done to replace this mighty estate car? Well, instead of having a 4-year-old Volvo, what we have decided to do is buy a 14-year-old Audi. Interestingly, both cars occupy almost exactly the same price point. So when new, the Audi A6 was £29,000 in 2014. If we account for inflation, that's around £38,000 today. The Volvo V60 was around £32,000 new, and that was in 2020. If we account for inflation, that works out at almost exactly £38,000. So this is my new daily driver. There is method in this madness. So we have bought this car off the PCP company. We have sold it to my friend Dr. David, and my friend Dr. David, not the same person, believe it or not, was selling this. He's just bought himself a Kia Stinger V6 twin turbo, which is an immense car. We'll try and do some videos of that at some point in the near future because it's incredible. Let's go. And we're up to 60. That's good. I like that. That's not what I was expecting from a Kia. I knew it would be quick, but that is properly fast. So this was languishing on his driveway looking for a new home. So we have swapped monthly payments for a £13,000 Volvo to a single one-off payment of £1,750 for an Audi. So these two vehicles are actually surprisingly comparable. They both have a 2-litre 4-cylinder diesel up front driving the front wheels. The Volvo with 147 horsepower, but the older Audi actually has 168 horsepower. So this is I think it's called a C6 A6 or C7 A6. It's a third generation either way. I'm sure people in the comments will bleep bloop and correct me. But yeah, facelift third gen A6 Avant, also a 2-litre, also a manual. The only difference is this doesn't have a tow bar yet, this does. So that's a small problem we need to resolve. But otherwise, we've made a nice little trade-up. One-off payment, probably some overdue maintenance to do, versus a very large payment or monthly payment and some maintenance to do. So we've traded one headache for a much bigger headache, I'm very sure. So with that, let's go and have a look at these two vehicles and see what 10 years of difference in premium estate cars actually looks like. So apparently I am terrible at framing videos, so enjoy me talking about the Volvo while you can just see my yellow hoodie. Smooth. Best take all of the keys out of my pocket, eh? So, one of the things I'm definitely going to miss about this Volvo is it has a retractable tow bar, which is really, really handy. So unfortunately the new Audi does not have a tow bar, so that's something we've got to look into. If you have any recommendations about where we can get a decent tow bar for an Audi A6 Avant, that would be great, because this is cool. I suspect we're probably not going to get an aftermarket hideable tow bar like this one, but a tow bar is a tow bar, effectively. So the other thing that was really important about the Volvo for us was the size of the boot. So this Volvo has a fairly cavernous boot, as most Volvo estates do, but so does the Audi. So let's go and have a look at that. And the one thing I'm going to have to get used to is it's not being quite so lazy. Right, let's have a look, shall we? I have to do things by hand. What a difference 10 years makes. The Audi is a bigger car as well. So while the Volvo measures in at 4.76 metres, the Audi is a whopping 4.93 metres long. It also has this really lovely little chrome protective strip on here. The one thing we don't have is a nice boot floor protector, so that's on the list of things to get. But yeah, this is, in fact, probably bigger, if not, yeah, more so than the Volvo. It also has this cool folding boot floor, a little bit of space under here, and unlike the V60, this actually has a full-size spare. It's an alloy, it's got a brand new tyre on it. I don't think it's ever been used in this car, which lives underneath this panel, which is a bit convoluted to get out. But otherwise, we're not really compromising. If anything, we've got a slightly larger boot, which is great. I guess the Audi A6 is more akin to the Volvo V90 maybe, so maybe that's why we've got a bit more boot space, despite this being a 10-year older vehicle. Right, let's go and have a look inside the car. Oh, this is so much hard work. Welcome to the inside of an Audi A6 S-Line. So it's quite nicely appointed. You can definitely tell it's a bit older than the Volvo. So where the V60 has a lovely centre screen here, which is not too large, but not too small that it's unusable, here we see much more focus on buttons. Everything runs by buttons, which is great. This is not a touch screen. It is a useful size screen, and we control it with the sort of jog wheel down in the centre here. So it's definitely showing its age, I think. I'm not necessarily keen on the styling, but it's quite nicely put together, and the buttons are all very tactile. They've got nice definitive clicks and clacks on the buttons, which I like. And the dashboard gives me a nice mix. So we've got analog dials and we've got a nice little LCD screen in the middle, which gives the usual exact speed readout. It also gives warning messages, something that we need to talk a little bit about. So there are definitely some problems with this Audi. The first being that when you touch the brake pedal for the first time after starting the car, you get a very audible and loud bing because the centre brake light is not working at the top. We don't know why. The previous owner had replaced the light to try and fix the problem, to no avail. So we assume there's a wiring fault somewhere, or a fuse maybe that's gone, so that needs looking into. And I also get a warning about the washer bottle, which I've been told if I fill up, it will leak out. So I've got to try and work out if there's a common fault there somewhere with the washer bottle. Either the bottle is cracked or one of the hoses is leaking. So as soon as you put water in, it's just pouring straight back out. I suspect somebody in the past has filled it with just water, it's frozen and it's cracked the bottle. So that's what my money is on. But otherwise, yeah, it's a nicely appointed and very comfortable and smart place to be, I think. You can see I've already moved my camera over because we like our dash cam videos. As you've seen, they go out every December on the channel. And I've moved in the various bits and pieces and accoutrements you need for your car, like your McDonald's ketchup sachets and spare napkins for when you go for a cheeky drive-through. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it so far. Still a little bit of getting used to. I have to say, while the switchgear is nicely made, it doesn't feel as premium as the Volvo. I know the Volvo's got 10 years on this, but the switchgear very much feels like the same switchgear we had in a Mark IV Golf. some probably 10 years even before this car. This is a 2010 model, and I had a 2000 reg Golf V5, and yeah, these feel very, very familiar. So it feels like some things haven't moved on a great deal since then, but other things, obviously, you didn't have any of the infotainment system, etc. The one thing it is lacking, so it has got Bluetooth connectivity for my phone, but only for a phone, or like kids these days is this, isn't it? For a phone, not for music. So I quite like listening to music and to podcasts while I'm driving the V60. Not something I'm going to be able to do with this. However, if we pop this open, this might be on the fringes of what you can see on the camera. Also, you have to push a button to open the glove box. That's a little bit strange. But in here, there is a media center. So we've got a DVD player. Yes, you heard me right. It has a DVD player. And we have a CD multi-changer, and we've also got 2 SD card slots. So I could load loads of music onto SD cards and then scroll through the menu to find my playlists. That's a bit tedious because most of my playlists are on the phone, the camera that you're actually watching me on at the moment, on playlists on Apple Music. So I need to find a way of adapting it. I believe you can plug an adapter into the back of the DVD player, which gives you a Bluetooth module, and then I can listen to music through Bluetooth. But that's a job for another day. So yeah, that's about it for the interior. What are you trying to read a disc or something? Shh. Right. Yeah, continuity in this video is excellent, isn't it? So the last thing we need to talk about is the cosmetics. So you probably can't make it out because it's rained once again. So the bonnet does look quite nice and shiny, but it is not. This bit up here is not sunlight. This is actually lacquer that has completely failed on the bonnet. So we're going to have some body work done on the car, but join us next time on Automotive Tales as we talk about all the things that are wrong with our Audi as we take it in for a first service and an appraisal. Right, see you next time. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.